It's like it's snowing, it's hailing so much. And I don't even have my shelter put up yet.
That is definitely something. Wow. All right, look at this puddle. I gotta rethink what I'm doing here. It's definitely not working.
These are my little river streams that keep coming. Look at this. This whole camp spot just floods right in the middle. If you had your tent right down there, which is where I originally parked, you are going to be so wet and miserable. Like, this would be a really hard spot to have a tent camping. Got a little drainage roll in here that I'm going to have to figure out so it doesn't leak on me. Maybe put another pole in or something, but here it comes.
All right, howdy y'all, and welcome back to Camp Shack Productions. Today I am up in the beautiful Uinta Mountains, and I am going to show you how you can set up camp and enjoy a camping trip even when it's raining, like it's definitely going to do today. These things are coming in hot. By utilizing a couple things like some tarps, a shade structure, a paint pole, some cordage, you can set something up to where you can really enjoy your camping experience and not have to worry about the weather too much. So let's take some of this gear, let's get it set up, and I'll show you guys how I have this all working out. All right, I'm gonna get after it. All right, y'all, it really came down. I mean, I have these massive puddles at camp that are just crazy. And I made the mistake of making this swampy mess my first initial setup. And I should have known just by looking around. But made some adjustments, switched to a spot that after watching it rain a bunch, stayed pretty dry, and I have added the tarp. So, aside from attracting a ton of mosquitoes, what this does is it gives me a place where I can stand and stay completely dry. Not bad. It's very simple. I just use some reusable zip ties, and then I've tied it off to trees and poles. And on this side, I just tied the tarp in a bally knot and then put a toggle through it so it can't slide through. So not bad. All right, y'all. So I basically have camp set up. I am planning on sleeping in the back of the Nissan tonight. So I have my pads and everything already laid down. Over here on the other side of the car, I set up a second tarp in case I need to be able to kind of move around and I want to just move. But overall, the weather is starting to get gnarly again. I'm having a Prezi while I wait. I figured it was time for a step 2 since camp is all set up. And I'm just gonna kind of see what this storm does. You know, I have my little table, my little mini table, which this thing is awesome for like 15 bucks off of Amazon. I highly recommend it. It's just nice. You can set things up off the ground. I mean, my entire campsite flooded earlier. I had to move and try to pick a spot that I thought would be less wet. So there's times where you have to adjust. There's also a bunch of lightning and thunder. And a tip I have for you is if it gets really gnarly, if there's lightning and thunder, get out of your tent, get out of your hammock, whatever you're doing, and go and get in your car. You have rubber tires, it's insulated, it should keep you safe. And even if you have to sit in the front seat all night long and wait for the storm, it's better than getting hit by lightning because there has been some crazy bolts. This is leftover hurricane and tropical storm remnants, so it's just nuts. So right now, I'm just having a beer, looking around, enjoying the scenery. I got soaking wet. I'm gonna have to change my clothes here pretty quick. I'm gonna get cold real fast. And I do have a little poncho that I'll probably put on once I do that, just so that I can move around and be clear and crisp. So I'm gonna hang out and see what happens next. All right, y'all, cheers. Here it comes. It's nice and dry underneath the tarp. And man, it's gonna come down again. Man, look at how much water. Thunder and lightning galore. Wow. All right, y'all. Sorry about switching to the GoPro. I wanted to make sure that when it starts to dump water, my digital camera doesn't get wet. So if the audio is screwy, I'm sorry. As you can see, camp is set. I got everything ready to go. I got my little chair. I got my tarp. I got my backup tarp over there to help keep me dry and warm. So, you know, overall, not bad at all. One of the things I do want to point out though, when you're doing something like this is, if you're coming out here, know what you're getting into. I have a cotton sweatshirt on. I never wear cotton, but because I have this Mondo poncho, my cotton sweatshirt is fully covered. It's keeping me nice and warm. It's really comfortable, and it is completely covered. So bring your poncho, bring your umbrellas, bring your Gore-Tex, bring all the things you know you're gonna need to stay warm. Bring a change of shoes. My shoes are sopping wet and my socks are as well. So soon enough, I'll change those up and I will have the ability to keep my feet warm and dry once I put pants on. I'm gonna walk around a little bit more though once it starts to rain and show you guys how much water is gonna come down. This is just crazy. So it's knowing, it's having the right gear, it's coming prepared, it's bringing the things you know you need. And it's not that hard. Y'all know what you need, so bring it. Yeah.
Listen to that rain. Look at what it's doing out there. And I am staying completely dry in here. Just chilling. It's actually really nice. It's like watching a crazy rainstorm from your front porch. You know what I mean? Like, you got my tarp overhead and you've just got this really nice rain setup. Not bad. Man, it is wet. I am sopping wet. Big lightning, which is gonna mean big thunder here. Might be close. If I hear a couple more of those, I might get in the car for a little while and just wait out the lightning, because that stuff is scary, man. Look at this, just chilling. Got my little dry space right here, aside from where my tarp is leaking right there. Not bad. Look. That table, dry, chair, dry. Everything else, wet. Not bad. Not bad at all. Have the ability to just stay dry. There's nobody around. One of the other things I can't recommend enough when you're out in the middle of a rainy, swampy mess is a good old-fashioned umbrella. I'm fortunate enough to have a bunch of golf umbrellas, so it's really nice to be able to pull these out because I can take photos with this. I mean, this is, look at this swamp back behind me here. It's a swimming pool, and again, between my poncho and this umbrella, I'm standing right here staying really dry. All right, guys, we brought the hibachi. Look at how wet everything is. And yes, it's my center support paint pole. I also had another pole that I put up over here just to try to keep the water from flowing. But there is a full-on swimming pool, and it is just raining like crazy out there. Not bad in here though. Look, you couldn't even, the fire pit has a full-on lake around it, both of them. Just crazy.
Could be so much worse though. It's actually beautiful and not as cold as I was thinking. Keeping the bugs away too, which is nice. It is about 5 o'clock. I think it's time to get dinner going. The sun is coming out a little bit, so I'm going to take advantage of the fact that it's going to dry out for a second, which is another thing I recommend you do. When you have breaks in the weather, do the stuff that you need to do so that way when you're done, you can huddle back underneath your tarp. Also, the bugs will probably start to come back out now that I have some sun coming out. So if that's the case, I'll just close off the car so that way nothing gets in here and my sleeping space stays just like I would if you zipped up your tent, right? Just closing the gate will keep that going. So I think I'm gonna fire up the hibachi and get some dinner rolling. All right, y'all. So one of the things when you're dealing with rain and you have to keep things in a small space is keeping everything contained, which means taking stuff out, putting things away. You know, it's a lot more work to just try to keep everything so that it's not getting wet. So it really does mean being organized. And if you're new to my channel, then this is something you'll know or you might like. This is an old DOP kit, an old toiletries kit that I use. And inside of here, this is basically where I keep all of my kitchen utensils, knives, forks. So I have the ability to make this a hanging kitchen anytime I want. And then, you know, I need it right now because I need my fire starter. And eventually I'm going to need my tongs. So it's really nice to just keep things organized. I have koozies in here. I have toothpicks, just all kinds of stuff. So it really is crucial when you're dealing with situations like this to keep yourself organized. So I really recommend that you put things in bins, you find ways to get things clean, and you just, when you're done using something, put it away so that way it is not out in the way. Let's get into the cooler here. And again, it's just me, so I just have my little mini cooler, but I got a giant tub of potato salad, which I made yesterday. Really stoked about this. I love potato salad. I am going to also turn off the grill. So it is now completely shut off. And tonight, for dinner beverage, we are having a pina colada liquid IV because, again, we're up high in the mountains. I know how important it is to stay hydrated. And if you haven't tried liquid IVs, you should. They're not sponsoring me. This is just my own opinion. But these things are awesome. They really help keep you hydrated, and they taste really good. The pina colada tastes like pina colada. I mean, it's crazy how much coconut taste it has. But it's really good, and I highly recommend checking out Liquid IV for sure. All right. Oh. And it's nice because it's just a pouch that you add to your own water. You can put it in any bottle you want. You can dilute it. You can keep it super strong, however you want. Go check out Liquid IV. All right. Now the time has come. One of the hard parts about camping is you're always moving around. Oh, those are probably a little overdone for sure. I can hear thunder just rolling down at me. Not bad, huh? Got yourself a good little meal while camping. All right, y'all. It is now time for a step 2. If you're not familiar with step 2s, check out Steve Wallace's channel. He is one of the best guys. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I love his videos. And he loves to have a step 2. An adult beverage once camp is set up and you're chill. I've already eaten dinner. I had my my liquid IV, so I'm hydrated. So I am going to have an apple cinnamon pressy. So cheers, my friends. Oh. It's like an apple cider. It's really delicious. All right, I have to ask you, if you've made it this far in the video, please go down, hit that like button, and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 subscribers, and I'm this close. So if you wouldn't mind, please go help me out. All right, y'all, so we're gonna try a little something different. We are going to try a step 2 80s stories. So I grew up in the 80s and things were completely different, and what I figured I would do is I would share a quick story with you while I drink my step 2. So I want to take you back to 1986, I believe was the year. I was 11 years old. My buddies and I lived in a neighborhood that had a gigantic field behind it, and in that field there was a rec center. That rec center was a place where we could go swimming, play basketball, volleyball, pretty nice little thing that they built right back there for us. So one year after Christmas, the city that I lived in decided that they were going to have everyone bring their Christmas trees, donate them, put them in a pile, and they were going to light a bonfire. Now, I assume they thought that this was going to be a small amount of trees. However, when this thing started, the pile of trees probably ended up being about 22 feet, 25 feet high. It was this massive heap of trees, and I would say that it was probably 100 feet in diameter. It was this huge, huge pile of old Christmas trees. So obviously, being 11, being bored in the middle of the winter, we decided we were gonna go to those and we were gonna go climb all the way up to the top and play some King of the Hill. We didn't end up playing King of the Hill, but we did end up climbing to the top, which was basically like weaving your way through a beaver dam or a pile of trees that had blown over and you have to cross over the top of them. There were these gigantic places where there were huge holes, and we just decided we were gonna get to the top, and we did. And on the way down, one of our buddies jumped down and his leg went into a hole and he snapped his tib fib. I mean, he broke it bad. So obviously we decided we needed to jump into rescue land. We took him, we got him out of the trees, we put him on a sled. Again, we didn't call anyone, we didn't tell any adults, because in the 80s we were taught, if you make a mess, you clean it up, you deal with it. So we put him on a sled and we hauled him the 1.5 miles back to his house, dragging him across the streets, every bump. This poor guy was screaming and yelling. I can't even imagine how much pain he was in. His brother was telling him what a wimp he was because he wouldn't just walk. This kid broke his tib fib. If he tried to stand up and walk on it, he would have flopped over and his leg would have gone like mush. So it was really, really a bad decision on our part. And when we got him home, we were all expecting to be completely like turned into heroes, right? Yeah, you guys did it. I can't believe you got him here. Our parents were so pissed. He could have like cut an artery. There could have been so much damage done by us moving him around. No splint, no nothing. We just dragged him back to his house, and I will never forget that experience. So that's what it was like growing up in the 80s. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you think I should continue with the Step 2 80s segment going forward. This is an experiment to see how it goes. All right, I'm gonna sit back, enjoy beer, watch the rain come in, and probably start to get some stuff ready for bed, because once it gets dark, it's gonna get cold, and I'm gonna crawl into that thing and get nice and comfy. It is really chill out here. It's really nice. All right, see you guys in a little while. I'm gonna enjoy some brew. All right, before the sun goes down, let's talk about one of the other tips that I have for you before you go to bed. Make sure that you have a complete change of clothes. You want to take off everything that's wet, including your shoes, your socks, anything that got completely soaked over the last little while. Make sure you change into something warm and dry. So when I get into the vehicle, I won't have my sleeping bag out. I won't have anything ready to go yet until I get completely out of my wet clothes and put on all dry clothes. So that way I'm not getting my sleeping bag wet while I'm out there doing that. So tip, make sure you have dry, clean clothes for bed and for the next day. You know, if you're car camping, you should definitely have the gear. Now, if you're backpacking, you got to do it completely different. But we're up here enjoying the nice car camping. Man, it is beautiful, isn't it? Look at how nice it is right now. I can even see a little teeny patch of blue sky. So I'm going to enjoy it while I have it. I'm going to finish my step 2 and just kind of kick it. It's been nice, man. Just chilling, not really doing anything. Went for a little walk, looked at some stuff. There's a lot of water up here. I hope I don't have to use 4-wheel drive to get out of here tomorrow. All right, I'm gonna go have a little bit of the press. All right, check in with y'all later. All right. This is what I mean by remove gear. Like shoes, socks, anything that is wet, make sure you take it off before you get into the place that you're gonna sleep. Otherwise, you're gonna have a miserable night. And that's why I don't put my bag or anything out. In case I do have something wet, it doesn't get there. Another helpful tip, have a place to hang your gear if it's really wet. Sorry about the shaky camera. Only have so much room in the back of this thing. I have a pair of extra shorts. My top is pretty dry, but if not, I have an extra hoodie right here that I can wear that'll keep me warm and dry for the night. My sleeping bag is totally dry. I make sure to keep it away from anywhere where there's water rolling through. So now I'm just gonna let my feet dry off a little bit, change my shorts, get into comfy clothes, and get ready to zonk out because it's getting dark fast and I am cold and tired. So I will probably check in with you all in the morning. So have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow morning. My little casa for the night. My homemade gear rack. All my clothes. Up front's pretty empty. Not bad. Already steaming up. All right, y'all. Good morning. Had a great night's sleep. It was super quiet. The rain kind of pitter-pattered just a little bit last night as I was falling asleep, and then it looks like it stopped. So it has been a really chill morning. Just got up, did a little wandering around. Now it's time for the most important thing in all of camping. Morning coffee. Oh. Yeah, I slept pretty good. It's nice to be able to retreat into the back of your vehicle. That's a really sweet thing. I'm a big fan of being able to do that. Oh, hello, jet boil. All right. Yeah, just overall, not a bad little get together here. Nice thing about the rain was there were no bugs. There still hasn't been too many. I mean, I've seen a few, but not too many. So overall, again, I think if you're comfortable living in a small space like this, then, it's really awesome to come out. It's super cool to see the change in weather. You know what I mean? It's just really nice. So, all right, well, we'll get some coffee and then we'll go over my final thoughts and tips and share a little bit before we head out of here. So, see you guys once the coffee is done. All right, y'all. So, here are my final thoughts on camping in the rain and being able to enjoy it. You have to realize that you're going to be stuck around camp a lot more. So, have something to do. Have some games to play, have some drinks, you know, whittle on some wood, anything that you want to do. Just have some activities so that you can keep yourself busy. We all need our activities, right? Number 2, have a plan for how you want to set up camp. You know, for just me, my little 8x10 tarp right over there, or 6x8 tarp, works really good. It's the perfect size to keep me out of the rain. It gives me a small space to work in. It works right over the top of my Nissan. But maybe you don't have an SUV or something like that, or you only have a car. You could use trees to tie that tarp off. Maybe you have 15 people and you need a 15x30 tarp that's gigantic with poles all over. You know, I think it's just really understanding that you've got to have something to keep you covered. Otherwise, you're going to be relegated to your tent or inside of your camper or your car or whatever it might be. But by having a nice tarp structure over the top of you, you have the ability to move around a lot more. Another thing is have the right gear, you know, have the right clothes, have rain jackets, have rain pants. Don't do what I did. And, you know, as I was setting up that tarp originally, my feet got sopping wet. I mean, it just started to downpour in the middle of my initial setup. And it drained so much water right where I was. I had to move, and it sucked my shoes. They were so wet that I couldn't do anything with it. So at that point, I was just like, all right, I'm not going to get my other shoes wet. And I probably should have put on my Gore-Tex boots, but I wasn't cold. So it's, again, having those, which I have on this morning, and they're really nice because I'm nice and toasty right now, right? I have my rain jacket, I have my rain pants, I have all the stuff I need to make it comfortable. The other tip is be organized. If you're going to be lurking and moving in those little teeny tiny spaces, have your gear organized, have it ready to go, make sure that you know where everything is, and it's not just all thrown into a bin and you have to dig through the whole thing. You really want to make sure that you have everything you need and that it's easy to find so that you're not searching for it in the middle of the rain. Last, not least, don't be afraid of it. Coming out and seeing this place in the middle of, I mean, it was a torrential downpour multiple times yesterday. It was so cool. The road is flooded. There's all these pools and all over the place. It's really, really awesome to be out here. Not to mention why it was raining. There were no bugs. Then it got so cold that they wouldn't come out. So there's some real benefits. The smell, oh God, the smell of the forest after a rainstorm is one of my favorite things in the entire world. That's a scent I wish we could bottle. I would wear that as cologne for sure. But you know, it's really just about getting out, enjoying yourself, and being comfortable in the fact that you might be a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. And I think once you get over that and you produce the things and you provide the gear that you need, you won't have any problems with it and you'll probably start to enjoy it. It's one of my favorite times to go out camping is when it's raining, snowing, you know, when everybody else decides it's not time to be out there. It's a good time to be out here. All right, y'all, I really hope you enjoyed this video. You know, these are tips and tricks that I have learned the hard way a lot of the times. There's some real easy things you can do to make your life a lot simpler, but you just have to kind of embrace that suck every once in a while and realize that by doing so, you're gonna get this amazing view, these amazing things that not everybody gets to see. So I really do hope you enjoyed this video. Please go down, hit that like button, subscribe if you're feeling really generous. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 subscribers and I'm almost there, and I would really appreciate your support. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see y'all back in the next video. Be well, my friends. God, it's nice. Nice, nice, nice. Pretty good. Really good. To go with my brat, I've got potato salad. I don't know about y'all. Potato salad is, personally in my opinion, its own food group. And you can also do potato salad completely wrong. Damn, that's good, man.